What does manhood mean to you?
I believe that this culture is only on loan to us. We don't own it. It's passing through us. Now, being responsible means taking into consideration what are you going to leave for Blacks to look at 100 years from now?
Hi, and welcome to another edition of King Crush Thursday, the series where we highlight and uplift Black men, because frankly, not too many people are doing it. My name is Val Gay, and I'm super excited to bring this brother to you today. He is a prolific author. He has authored several books. He's also a prolific screenplay writer, and he is the co-founder of the African American Studies minor at the University of Texas in San Antonio. Now, I have to tell you, this is my second time talking to this brother, because the first time I did it was live at the Harlem Book Fair. And at the end of that conversation, a few minutes later, it was like a squall came down and drenched us completely and ruined all of our footage. And so we had to do it again in this controlled environment. But I'm so grateful he's here again. So please welcome Mr. Frederick Williams. Hi, Mr. Fred. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Thank you for having me back again. I really do appreciate that.
Absolutely. I appreciate you saying yes again. I really do. I'm so grateful. And so, as you already know, this conversation is just another chink in the armor of busting open a very narrow and myopic view of Black men in the world. We know that your ilk, if you will, is myriad. Yet what we see in the media generally is a microcosm of the entirety of the whole. And yet we're told that that is the whole. And so while that narrative that we see may not be incorrect, oftentimes it is, but it's most certainly incomplete. And so ultimately we want to have a more varied story so that hopefully one day a young king who may or may not have positive Black male role models, come to this repository, see the same 6 questions answered by so many amazing, positive, and successful Black men, and hopefully find guidance there. And then for the rest of us who are neither male or even Black, for us to be able to take a peek into your community, if you will, and hopefully find also guidance and an ability to see beyond what we see in the stereotypical media, if you will. And so I'm so grateful that you are here. And we are going to get started with the first question, which what does manhood mean to you?
Manhood to me means being responsible, first of all, being responsible to family and to culture. I put obviously to God, family and culture. And I believe that this culture is only on loan to us. We don't own it. It's passing through us. Now, being responsible means taking into consideration what are you going to leave for Blacks to look at 100 years from now. Right now, we're going back and looking at the Harlem Renaissance. Great period. Man, they did great stuff. And we're proud of it. We can look at the 60s. We're proud of it. What are we looking at today? What are we looking at today? We're looking at families broken up. We're looking at crime. And what do they give us? That's what they give us. That's what they feed us. And I get into this argument all the time saying it's not about us. It's about 100 years from now when we owe an obligation, when this culture passes on from us to another generation, to leave them something to be proud of. Now, can you say that we're proud of Blacks being drug dealers? Are we proud of Blacks strung out on drugs? Are we proud of brothers calling their sisters bitches and hoes? Now, when I grew up in the 60s, late 60s, 70s, you better not call a sister that name. You got your butt whipped. What happened? What happened? Black was beautiful. Right now, it's not acting like it's beautiful anymore. And I don't blame just the white media. I blame us for accepting it, for accepting it. We don't have to, we can reject it. We're mature enough now, we have enough buying power now that we can support positive images, positive stories about Black America. Let me give you a great example. When they talk about Black Wall Street, the first thing you think about is destruction. Black folks running scared. They're running down the street. They're getting killed and all this other stuff. Okay, yeah, it was bad. It was bad. But do you ever hear anyone talking about those brothers were heroes? They were strong brothers. They fought those white folks until the airplanes came. Here in Texas, I always use the example of the Alamo. I mean, the Alamo, those white folks got whipped, but you never hear them say massacre at the Alamo, do you? Never. So you got Davy Crockett, who's a hero, and Jim Bowie, who's hero. So their kids walk out of the theater saying, wow, look at what heroes our ancestors were. Why can't we do that for our kids? Oh, that's a little about, I'm sorry. I get carried away on this, believe me.
No worries. Absolutely. No, that's great. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you. And so, Mr. Fred, who and or what is important to you?
Who is it? Well, obviously my family and what I do as a writer. What I put out as a writer is terribly important to me. And I am not a writer that's going to put out negative images about Blacks at all. I don't want to pick on any. Yeah, I'm going to. If you have the opportunity to do something that's going to be negative to the race, then I don't believe you should do it. In 1935, Paul Robeson did a movie where it was a negative look at Africa and at Blacks. After he realized what he did, he said, I will never do another movie or anything that leaves a negative image of Black America. And he didn't. Why can't those folks in Hollywood do the same thing? Why can't they do it? I don't want to pick on anyone, but Training Day. Training Day. Who's the bad cop in Training Day? The Black cop. Who's the angelic, beautiful cop? The white cop. Well, we know in reality it's the reverse. But what did Hollywood do? So everybody comes out of the theater thinking the black cop is the bad cop. The white cop is the angel cop. He wants to do good. That's how they twist it. That's how they twist things. And so that's the one thing I reject. Some folks tell me, Fred, man, if they offer you $1 million to do this kind of work, would you do it? I said, my wife and I have lived all our life with one car. We have a modest home here in Texas, and we're happy. And I know when I'm alone, any moment I'm alone, I have to deal with who is me. Can $1 million do that? No. I owe an obligation to my race, to my people, to my family, to project positive images because that's what my father gave me all my life, a positive image of a Black man. And so do I reject all these negative images? Yes, I do. I know they exist, but I don't have to write about them. You got enough people out there writing about them. I don't know if you remember, there was a period right after the lady, can't think of her name right now, wrote Waiting to Excel. I mean, man, every sister in this country was writing a novel about the bad brother. And it was getting published. And and so what's the image you're putting out there? Is this negative image about us? So I asked, I was at a book signing one time, I says, what about the positive brothers? I told her, my father used to get up at 5:30 in the morning in Saginaw, Michigan, in the cold, and walk to work to the post office to leave the car there for my mother. Why aren't we seeing those kinds of stories? Is there something wrong with it? Yeah, white America doesn't want it to be seen. We have never been projected in a positive way. One more thing I think is important. It really got me going on this. Richard Wright's native son. Bigger Thomas was the main character. He kills a white woman, then in killing the white woman, he turns around and kills the sister. Now, they asked Langston Hughes to do a review of Native Son in Crisis. So he and Richard Wright were friends, so he didn't really want anything too bad. So how he wrote, where are our heroes? Where are our heroes that our kids can go see and say, I want to be like him? And I ask everyone, when you read Native Son, do you want your son to be Bigger Thomas? Do you want your son to be Bigger Thomas? Oh, you know, white folks, that was the first Black by African American to be on the best-selling list. But look what they gave us. Now I know why Richard Wright. It was a protest novel, but making it a protest novel, look what the image he gave of a young Black man. And I think it was our turn. Now, yeah, we went through the protest novelists of this, the Harlem Renaissance novelists of the 20s, then the protest novelists. Where are they going to fit us in the year 2024 as writers? 100 years from now, when historians are looking back at us as writers, what are they going to see? Who are they going to see? And is it anything that we could say we'll be proud to project this to them?
Wow. Wow. That's a lot.
I'm sorry.
No, please. No, thank you. We need to be thinking. Thank you. And this is a perfect segue into question 3, which is, how do you want us to see you?
I think I pretty much defined it. I want you to see me as a concerned writer and concerned about what I write and how I write it and who I'm writing it for. Okay. That's who I am at this time in my life. When I created I was co-founder of the Afro-American Studies Department at UTSA. I was teaching courses in Afro-American political thought, Afro-American politics. I did a course on the Harlem Renaissance, and my way to teach was to empower, teach to empower. And believe me, I had a big problem at UTSA because they did not want me to teach that way. They did not want me to empower. What they did is they figured Black students wouldn't show up at 8 o'clock in the morning for a class. So they put my class at 8 o'clock. Room was full. And they had the students, my wife and I used to have our students over for different events. You know, I was empowering young minds. And are we doing that today with movies and with literature and reading? Are we doing that? Are we empowering our young minds? Yeah. When I first wrote a novel on Black Wall Street, I called it Fires of Greenwood. Then I went through what I call a learning phase as a writer. I looked at every phase. Okay, we get here, what do we show our kids? We show them slavery. After slavery, what do we show them? Jim Crow and lynching. After that, what do we show them? We show police brutality. We showed David Floyd. I'm sorry, we'll go to my clients. The gentleman in 2020 at George Floyd. Okay, we show them George. What do they see that's positive? No wonder they're going out here shooting each other and hating, because we've given them no reason to love themselves. And it's us. We're doing the writing. Some of this writing, we're doing this. It's negative. Now, some people argue, we say, yeah, but we're showing reality. Okay. There was a Brazilian writer who won a Nobel Prize for his book. And what always stuck with me in that book is, as writers, we should show hope. We should show hope. You can do all the negative stuff, but show hope. Give people hope that things are going to get better, or write about how they can get better. You know, it goes back to Barack Obama's hope. You know, his big thing was hope. And that's what we need to be giving our kids, hope. Yeah, it's tough right now, but you're not the first generation to have it have it tough. I mean, we owe something to our ancestors who made it up the rough side of that mountain, because it was really rough. getting up there, but they did. So how are we carrying it on? What are we doing to carry it on? What are we doing? So when you ask me how I want to be, what people to think of me, that's what I want people to think of me. Even if I don't make $1 in my books, even if I don't do that, I want them to read my books and see that this was a brother who really reached out and wanted to write something good about Black people.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, Mr. Fred, what is your epic dream?
Right now, my epic dream right now is I changed my image of Black Wall Street and wrote the screenplay Heroes of Black Wall Street, along with a photographer, a famous photographer. He's known in New York, Edgar Collins. And we wrote Heroes of Black Wall Street. We're reaching out to actors and actresses to play the different roles. Excuse me. And my dream is this year to get the funding. And my dream is by 2026, the movie Heroes of Black Wall Street will be out, and Black people will be proud to see a different version of Black Wall Street, where there are heroes and they're real people. They're real, real people live there. You don't get that when you see the documentaries. They're just like people running. With real people, they had lives. They were doing well, and they just didn't turn and run. Those brothers fought those white folks and allowed a lot of Blacks to escape before they finally brought in the airplanes, and 7,500 white racists, and they were overpowered. But what we want to show in our movie is how they fought back. So that's my dream for the next 2 years.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you. So you have been answering question 5 all along implicitly, but I'm going to ask you explicitly. Mr. Frederick Williams, who are you?
I am a Black man who grew up in a fantastic period, the 60s, the 70s. I was touched by Malcolm, by Martin, James Brown, Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud, by Curtis Mayfield. We're going on up. And the songs, those positive songs, I was influenced by that. Most of all, I was influenced by a father who told me, you don't have to prove anything to anyone. When everybody said, well, we have to be twice as good, my father said, no, you don't have to be twice as good. You just be good. And you do what you think is right, what you believe in. That's who has influenced me and made me who I am, Frederick Williams, an elderly 80-year-old writer who's lived a life that I'm proud of. I'm not rich, but I'm proud. Okay.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you. So here we are already at question 6, which is there anything I should have asked you that I didn't, or you wanted me to ask you that I didn't? In other words, what did I miss?
I don't think you hit pretty much everything quite well. Yeah, definitely. I'm not, I think you hit everything. I'm proud of my last novel, Making My Way to Harlem. It's about the Harlem Renaissance. Came out last year. I've created some very, very great heroes of the Renaissance. Langston Hughes is in there, Contine Cullen's in there, Dr. W. Du Bois, James Weldon Johnson. They're all in the story. And I think it's something that people can take and read. And I believe in writing historical novels because I think you can write history and entertain. Fiction allows you to give your reader something that entertains them, plus empowers them with their history and their knowledge. So that's about, does that answer your question?
It does. It does. Thank you very much. I'm so grateful. You answered all the questions. You did it so well too. And I'm grateful for your point of view. I'm grateful for, your skill and talent in writing books and wanting to tell a more full story. In many respects, that's what this whole platform and podcast is about. It's about telling a fuller story, not just what the small portion that we've seen that gets repeated over and over again. And so I'm really grateful for, your body of work and your goals on, creating a more balanced narrative, and so
Yes, that's important. Yeah.
Yes. And so I honor you, my king. I pray that your epic dream comes true sooner rather than later. And I'm just so grateful that you've been with us today and that you came back.
Yes.
After
Happy to, definitely. Yes.
Thank you so much. And stay right there because I want to thank the audience for joining us. I hope that you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. And if there's a positive and successful Black man in your life who you want to see highlighted in this forum or heard from in this forum, please click the link below or my bio, fill out the nomination form, and we'll take it from there.
Okay.
I'm so grateful for the brothers that we met through the Harlem Book Fair, Mr. Fred being one of them. And, I always say that success does not equal what one does for a living. They could be a co-founder of the African American Studies at a university or a prolific writer or not. What we are really interested in is all of those brothers whose content of their character is making a positive impact on the people around them, their community, beginning with the nuclear family, and then spreading out to the community writ large. We want also those brothers to contribute to this narrative. And so please nominate away. Please nominate away. And in the meantime, please stay tuned next week for yet another amazing king. And please remember to spread love and have a great day. Thank you so much, Mr. Fred. That was really wonderful. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.